Okay, imagine this for a second. You're born a prince, your path is all laid out for you, but instead, you choose to build the very laws that will define a new modern nation. Well, today, we're diving into the incredible story of a man who did exactly that. Sir Adetokunbo Ademola, the architect of Nigeria's independent judiciary. This quote right here, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures who he was. He was a bridge, a living, breathing link between Nigeria's colonial past and its independent future. So let's explore just how one man could embody such a massive transition. To really get who this man was, we have to start at the beginning. And his story, well, it doesn't begin in a courtroom. It starts in a palace.
See, Ademola was an Omoba, which is a Yoruba prince. His father was the king, the Alake of the Egba people. Now, this wasn't just some fancy title. It meant he was steeped in Egba values from birth. Things like diplomacy, a deep sense of duty, and always measured leadership. This cultural bedrock would shape everything he did for the rest of his life.
But here's where it gets really interesting. You have this royal upbringing, and then it collides with a completely different world. And it's that collision, that fusion, that made him so uniquely effective. So on one side, you have the prince, totally immersed in the customs and traditions of his Egba kingdom. But on the other side, you have the barrister, educated at Cambridge and called to the bar at the famous Middle Temple in London. He could speak the language of ancient customs just as fluently as he could English common law. And for him, this wasn't some kind of identity crisis. Nope. It was his superpower. And man, would he need that superpower for the huge task that lay ahead of him. Building the entire judicial system for Africa's most populous nation, pretty much from scratch. I mean, his rise through the ranks was just meteoric. Look at this timeline. He's called to the bar in London in 34, and just 5 years later, he's a magistrate. By 49, a senior judge. By 1955, he makes history as the first Nigerian Chief Justice for a whole region. And then, get this, in 1958, 2 years before Nigeria was even independent, he becomes the first Nigerian Chief Justice for the entire federation. It was an incredible climb, and it was all based on pure merit. And he didn't just interpret the law, he built the institutions that would keep it going. He co-founded the Nigerian Law School. This was a huge deal. Think about it. For the first time, Nigerian lawyers could qualify right there at home. This single move ended the country's reliance on the English bar and started building a truly Nigerian legal profession. But his job, it wasn't just about courtrooms and law books. Not even close. As Nigeria navigated the really chaotic early days of independence, he became this crucial, stabilizing force for the entire nation. So it makes you wonder, right? When the political system is failing, when your country is literally on the verge of falling apart, what's a judge supposed to do? Well, for Adetokunbo Ademola, the answer was step up. Okay, picture this. After the 1964 elections, the country is deadlocked, paralyzed. It was Ademola who stepped in and mediated a solution. Even more serious, after the violent coup in 1966, when the nation was about to split apart, he personally went and persuaded key military officers not to secede. He was a peacemaker who used the incredible respect he commanded, respect from both his royal roots and his judicial fairness, to literally hold the country together. And his commitment to serving the public was just extraordinary. I mean, it stretched into almost every part of Nigerian and even international society. Just look at this list of his other jobs. It's almost unbelievable. President of the Nigerian Red Cross, a member of the International Olympic Committee for more than 20 years, university chancellor, a leader in global legal groups. This wasn't a man who just clocked in and clocked out. His entire life was one continuous act of service, all driven by this profound sense of duty. So, when all is said and done, how do you even begin to sum up the legacy of a figure this massive? Well, the honors he received from two very different worlds, they give us a pretty big clue. Check this out. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. He was appointed to her Privy Council, a huge honor in Britain. And at the same time, he received the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, which is the absolute highest honor the independent Republic of Nigeria could give. He was fully claimed and celebrated by both the old era and the new. And that's really the final verdict on his life's work, isn't it?
He was the architect. He skillfully took the threads of his Yoruba tradition and blended them with the structure of English common law, and he created this strong, independent judicial foundation that a brand new nation desperately needed.
Shortly before he passed away, someone asked him how he wanted to be remembered. And his answer, it wasn't about the titles or the honors or the big historical moments. It was just this, a simple, powerful thought from a man who, despite being royalty and having immense power, saw his life's work as just humble service and fairness. A truly foundational figure and a standard bearer for a nation.